Good afternoon, everyone. Today we have Friday, the 11th of August, 1508. Well, in principle, it's time to sort out what's going on in the market. Let's go. We will start with the main indicators. We will have a percentage index. If you pay attention, they are already descending in a few days. In principle, there is a descent in the area of 7 or 8 days. We are also seeing the same descent at 500, and this tells us that the stock markets have finally started some kind of descent. How far it will last, we will see already in fact, but now we are actually observing a descent, which we can use for our short position, but in any case avoid at least purchases. It is also going downhill, and this also suggests that some kind of correction has matured in the stock market, which I have been waiting for a long time. We also have another hint. This is the way of Cola ratio by all indicators. These are stocks, an index, and in principle it has already risen above 1, so that the put of options becomes more than Cola. It seems to cause a natural decline in the market. Well, let's go to the next one. Let's analyze the forecast. I want to remind you right away, yes, that you can find the possibility of translation here in the forecast section and translate it into the language that will be convenient for you. Yes, that is, it can be English, absolutely any language. So let's basically take it apart and see what we have. So, according to VKSU, the VCS finds downward trends in our country, and today we already have a big gap with the previous values. That is, the level of priority change was in the area of 17 and jumped to the area of 20. This is a revolutionarily serious leap, and accordingly it raises the point, as they say, of breaking the trend to increase the wicks. What would you do at the moment? I was looking at buying opportunities with a pullback of the VA, because I still expect that the stock market will begin to decline. It will begin sooner or later, and the most unexpected moment, so to say, so the opportunity to buy the VA will be sold. We can also look at the CIS index of 500, see that we still have an upward trend in option analysis, but nevertheless I am already saying that, after all, the stock market, I hope, will decline. The next asset is on our sign. Here on the sign is just such a clear picture. It is, as they say, more dynamic. We see that our priority change has not yet been overcome, but nevertheless our priority has gone down, and it is also one of the signs that most likely one of these days, today or tomorrow, maybe in a week it will still be broken through, and, of course, if consolidation occurs below it, we are opening into a very good serious fall. Vitya by Vitya, we have an upward trend so far due to the fact that inflation will still continue to remain at the same levels for you, perhaps even getting even higher. Therefore, friends, we remember that oil correlates with inflation itself. There is inflation, there is Rosneft. Our next asset is natural gas. For natural gas, we have so far observed that the price is below the level of $3. This is a change of priority for us, but in principle, you can already look for purchases here. Remember that gas is now very volatile and there can be quite serious big pullbacks. Do not think that if you place your stop behind the current low point, then you will not benefit. It is quite possible that you will be knocked out. You just understand that here, with a smaller key, you need to gain a position and buy it to break through the level of 3, and there is even a ceiling there and it is not known where it will be. For gold, we have a lateral movement. I can't say anything ambiguously, because there seems to be no clear pronounced movement here. Plus or minus the same picture on the euro dollar. In principle, we have been standing in the sidewalk since May, and no changes have been observed yet, and so far I don't see them. For Bitcoin, we have July, August, the beginning of August. Yes, we were able to make a sideways movement now. In principle, we have risen well before this. Again, there is no unambiguity of movement here. I would refrain from trading this one. For treasury bonds, just here is a more obvious picture. We have a clear reduction in the priority level, the price is constantly below them, respectively, saying that there will be a further price reduction. Why? If the fundamental reason for this is an increase in interest rates, and interest rates cause an increase in bond yields, respectively, the bonds themselves will decline. A very simple approach, so 10-year-olds can be quite charted. A similar downward movement is also brewing for wheat. We remember that this is just an asset that the price may fall before the start of the season, and of course there may be, as they say, a different situation. Plus, the situation with a grain-free transaction is uncertain, so you need to be very, very careful here. But from the point of view of options, it is the short position that is being considered here. Well, let's go to the next asset. It's a spike or IKEA with 500 began to decline a little, but has not yet overcome the level, so there is still a kind of purchase priority, but I have not used the purchases themselves. That is, it is better to use purchases when she returns to them and tries to bounce back, but not at the moment, so it's better to miss it. Well, remember that the spike index consists of such top stocks. We will now analyze that half of them are already preparing for the fall. So, Mark, so far the upward trend is holding. I would not go short, but I definitely would not consider buying. That is, you need to wait for the right moment when these levels, as a matter of fact, will be beaten, and, accordingly, only then open positions. So far, so that I would consider closing by Meta. Amazon. On Amazon, in principle, we jumped up, but we see that we have been falling for quite a long time and it is worth considering that we will most likely break through the bottom. But let's wait on behalf of the real breakout, that is, fixing for the blue lines at the bottom, then we will consider why. It will be, as they say, reasonable. That's just the Microsoft plus or minus such a picture. We can see that the price has held very well above the levels of priority change. Yes, she came here, but when we begin to gain a foothold behind them, and we begin to really gain a foothold here, we can consider short positions. How to sell? Well, according to my strategy, you can, for example, sell with pullbacks, or using stop losses large enough to open short positions on my CFD. The next asset we have is the AAPL. According to the AAPL, we have a plus or minus the same picture, that is, we kept above the lines, now we have a breakthrough and securing them can also be examined by the AAPL of shorts. It's ambiguous so far, everything seems to be getting ready, but I wouldn't sell it now. Well, accordingly, if there were purchases, I closed it, because there are already 3 large stocks, yes, which show that the downward movement is beginning. Tesla is the same, it is very technical, that is, we see how the price keeps very well near these levels. Now we are actually securing them. Therefore, everything, again, you can share Tesla, you can share AAPL with us and you can share Microsoft. Friends, well, for those who are interested, I have training on my website. I'll turn it on right away in English, yes, you can see what I'm offering here. You can again translate into the language you need. I'll turn it on now. The site is written in Russian, respectively, you can familiarize yourself with my training kit that I take here. Well, I wanted to highlight one point in particular. I have online consultations in order to get a trading account managed from $10,000 to $200,000, and this is suitable even for citizens of the Russian Federation. Maybe you have paid attention, I have already written about this in my Telegram channel, yes, there was a post with an elephant, who remembers, and, of course, I have described it in more detail there, but I would like to tell you all this now in this video. So, if you are a profitable trader, then this is just right for you. Why? Because, perhaps, you need a fairly large capital, because most traders, well, to tell the Russian-speaking audience, yes, do not have deposits there from $10,000. As a rule, it's up to $1,000 there, somewhere someone has an isolated case of up to $10,000, but again I say, this is in the bulk. But if, strictly speaking, you need the trading strategy itself, then, of course, I suggest that you study with me. I have the opportunity to go through 2 types of training. This can be a video recording of an online training course and with my advice, a big such consultation on obtaining a trading account, well, or already such full-time support, where I will take you by the hand from and to, I will fully conduct you, and you will become a real trader who will be able to earn money in the markets regardless of what it is now the market situation. Of course, you will have periods of takeoff and fallout, but the most important thing is to stay afloat for a long time. Friends, I hope you found this video useful, understandable. Therefore, put a comment, like and subscribe. That's it, Artem from Kiev was with you. Bye.